What's going on, everybody? Eddie Dowd, Maryland real estate agent, here back again with Brian Sachs, Maryland mortgage lender, as well as multiple other states. We're here to talk today about a topic that a lot of uncertainty about. What happens after you have a bankruptcy? How long do you have to wait to purchase a house? Some people think it's 10 years. Some people think it's 7 years. Some people don't know. Some people think that they're never going to be able to purchase. Are they going to be able to purchase again? And if so, how long is it going to take them to purchase again after they have had a bankruptcy? Brian, care to?
So, it's a great question because it is an area of such confusion. So, first, we have to understand that there are two different types of bankruptcies. There's a Chapter 7 bankruptcies where all your debts get wiped out. And then there's a Chapter 13 bankruptcy where you pay back everybody, but at a lower amount. Say you owed somebody 10, you might have to pay them back 3 or whatever the court determines is the right amount based on the income you have and your financial situation. So there's a Chapter 7, there's a Chapter 13. Some of it also depends on what programs you go with, whether you're going with a VA loan or as a veteran or an FHA loan, which is HUD and the Federal Housing Administration, or you're going with just a standard Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac conventional loan. So I'm going to give you some good news and then I'll clarify. We have programs one day after a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. One day, okay? Now, the problem with that is you do have to put some money down. They usually are going to require 20% down. But if you've been discharged from a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, even 1 year, just 1 year, we might be able to get you into an FHA or VA loan. And here's the criteria. They want to know that what happened to you was an extenuating circumstance. Maybe you were out for workers' comp. You know, Eddie, when you get hurt on the job, they don't come around the next day and give you a check, right? It could be months or even years. And you have to kind of grin and bear it. Or maybe there was a job loss or a medical issue, whatever the case may be, if you can prove that it was a one-time extenuating circumstance and that you've reestablished good credit. So if you are going through a bankruptcy, the most important thing you can do right now, I know it sounds crazy because you just went through a bankruptcy, right? But the most important thing you can do is start reestablishing good credit. Even if you have to get a secured credit card, it's very important that you reestablish yourself right away. And so it's possible to get a mortgage 1 day after a bankruptcy. It's possible to get a mortgage 1 year after a bankruptcy. And honestly, with a Chapter 13, you can get a mortgage potentially even if you're still in the bankruptcy. So as long as you've been paying on time for a year, if you're in a Chapter 13, that's the one where you're paying things back. As long as you can show us a letter from the court saying it's okay to get a mortgage, and as long as you've been making your payments to the trustee on time, you also could be eligible for a mortgage. And you know, Eddie, the even better news is that you're not going to have to pay high interest rates and you're not going to have to put a lot of money down with most of these products. So I really appreciate you asking me that question because it's one we get a lot. And it's one that I'm sure the viewers have lots and lots of misconceptions about.
Exactly. And I think that there's not a whole lot of information out there in the market for people to be able to answer those questions. I think we hear the typical answers, and there's a lot more complexity to it, to where you might not have to wait as long as you may have previously believed. So I think that this video is going to be very beneficial to some people that maybe have just gone through some hard times and had to go through a bankruptcy and are looking forward to being able to purchase a home again or in the future. And maybe they thought that it was a long road ahead of them, and it's not. It doesn't have to be. And I would encourage, if that's something that you're going through or something that you just went through and you're looking to purchase a home, feel free to reach out to us. We're a judgment-free zone. Everybody's had their ups and downs in life, and I'm sure I know I've had them, and I'm sure Brian, you've had them as well. And no judgment coming from here. And we'd love to help you out and get you set on the right path to buying a home. Another thing I always like to highlight is the home funded page that CMG has. This is a essentially a GoFundMe page to where all your friends and family can contribute to you purchasing a home. And they'll also, CMG will also, and myself will also contribute up to $2,000 into that account there. So if it is something, maybe you just had a bankruptcy, or maybe you haven't had a bankruptcy at all, and you're just watching this just for informational purposes to be able to tell somebody else, or just know in the future, and hopefully you don't ever need to use it. Look at the link below. We'll have the link for that home funded, and we'd love to help you out any way we can. But you can reach me at 410-588-6536. Brian, any closing statements, and how can they reach you?
Yes, they can reach me at 443-471-8557. But the best thing you could possibly do for yourself is click on Eddie's Home Funded link. It's full of information, but more importantly, it's easy money. So why not take advantage of it? It doesn't cost you anything and it only benefits you. So I hope we've shed some light onto that big misconception about bankruptcies. And my hope is, Eddie, I hope that our viewers and people who are watching this station are able to really leave your questions, leave your thoughts, leave your questions. We're here to serve, and we want to make sure that your questions get addressed. So I thank you, Eddie, as always.
Likewise, thank you as well for being able to come alongside and do this with me. It's a pleasure every week.
All right. Thank you.